Allison, and I'm the Public Program Specialist here at the Peel Art Gallery Museum and Archives, otherwise known as PAMA, located in downtown Brampton. For those of you who have joined us before, welcome back, and for those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome to our Summer Staycation activities. If you've joined me, every Tuesday this summer, we did a bunch of different fun activities that you could follow along with at home. They're all available on our YouTube channel, Facebook, or on Instagram, so you can be sure to check them out if you haven't already. And if you have seen them all, then this is our next week's section, and we're going to be exploring the colors of the rainbow with our own rainbow creations. As you guys know, the rainbow is an entire spectrum of colors, all the way from red to indigo. The funnest thing about colors is that most of them start with just 3 basic primary colors: red, blue, and yellow. Today, we're going to be using our basic primary colors to create our own Play-Doh and then make some fun other colors with it as we go. To get yourself started, you've got to make sure to gather all of your materials together. So you need 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of table salt, 2 tablespoons of something called cream of tartar. That's something that you can find in the spice aisle or even on Amazon. And then you need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or even vegetable oil works okay. 1.5 cups of boiling water. That part you need the help of an adult to make sure because it gets really hot, so you've got to be careful. You need a mixing bowl, a spoon, some food coloring. You need your measuring cups to help you get the right volume of all of your materials, and then some Ziploc bags or some containers to put your finished Play-Doh in. With that, let's get ourselves started. Okay, once you've got all of your materials together, now is when you are going to start mixing everything together to make your Play-Doh. So I've already measured out my 1.5 cups of flour, so I'm going to start by pouring that into my mixing bowl. And then you are going to add your 1/2 cup of salt. So you're going to pour all of that in. You're going to add your 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. And then you're going to add your 2 tablespoons of oil. For me, I did olive oil, but like I said, you can also use vegetable oil, and that's okay too. Perfect. So you're going to have all of that in there mixed together, and you're just going to start to mix. As you go, with the help of an adult, like I said, you've boiled your kettle full of hot water. So you're going to slowly start to pour your water in. You don't want to pour it all in at once. You just want to do a little bit at a time just so that you get the right consistency. So like I said, you should boil about 1.5 cups, but you might not need all of it. So that all just kind of depends on how it all mixes together. As you start getting a more dough-like consistency, and it's not too hot, then you can start mixing with your hands. For now, because the water is still really hot too, we're going to keep mixing just with the spoon, just for a little bit to make sure that we're getting it. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to dough together, which is just what we want. So again, we're gonna add some more water and then keep stirring. So as you can see, I've started to get it to a point where it's got most of that is starting to clump together. So it might be a bit easier. I'm gonna start mixing with my hands instead. So you're just gonna clean off your spoon to make sure there's nothing on it. Set that aside. And then you are going to start mixing. So you gotta get your hands in there, get nice and dirty. So as you go, you should get it all so it's turned into one big ball. So as you can see, it's starting to get stuck together, but it's not really sticking to my hands as much. And that's exactly what we want. Awesome. I think I added a little bit too much water, but that's totally okay. If you add a little bit too much water, you can always add just a bit more flour, and then that should help make it a little less sticky. So once you've got it all so it kind of fits together in a nice ball shape, what you're gonna do is you're gonna gather your little containers, or in my case, I'm using Ziploc bags, and you're gonna break your Play-Doh into as many blobs as colors that you wanna mix. So I only wanna mix 3 colors today, so I'm only gonna make 3 big blobs. So I'm putting each blob inside its own Ziploc container, and that's just so when we get to that point, I can make each one its own color. So now you've got your 3 balls of Play-Doh. What the next step is using your food coloring to pick your colors. So like I said, there are 3 primary colors. There's red, blue, and yellow. What you can do is you can mix those colors together to get another color in itself. So for example, if I mix red and blue together, I'm gonna end up with purple. If I mix blue with yellow, then I'm gonna get green. And then if I mix red and yellow together, I'm gonna get orange. So I think those are the colors I'm gonna make. So we're gonna start off by making purple. So I'm gonna add 2 drops of blue and 2 drops of red. And then I'm going to mix it. So as you can see, mixing it in the bag, all of those colors are starting to blend together. And oh, there's the purple, it's starting to come out. Just so I can show you a bit better, I'm gonna pull it out and then I'm gonna mix with my hands so you can see it as I do. So as you can see, the red and the blue are starting to mix together and there's purple that's starting to come out of it. So as we go, I'm just gonna add another 2 drops of blue. I'm gonna add another drop of red just to keep it going. So as you can see, it all mixes together. Gotta be careful because you're gonna get some on your hands, but that's okay, it all washes off. That is looking too cool. And if you really want, you could leave it kind of marbled color where the red and the blue are still visible. And the more you play with your Play-Doh, the more those colors are gonna blend into each other. Okay, so there's our purple. And now we're gonna try making our green. So do you remember what colors I said make green? We're gonna do a couple drops of blue and a couple drops of yellow. Yellow food coloring is funny because it almost looks orange sometimes, but really it is yellow. Oh, the green comes out a lot more quickly, as you can see. Look at that. All mixing it together. Look at that. That was a lot quicker than the purple was. It didn't have to mix too much. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our green. It's still a little marbled, but the more I play with that, the more it's gonna come out. And then last but not least, we're gonna make our orange. So orange again, it's a couple drops of yellow and a couple drops of red. So we're gonna zip it to get that started and mix. Ooh, the orange is really visible too, just like the green was. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull it out again so we can just all take a better look. It almost looks like pizza dough from here, doesn't it? If you had tomato sauce on a big ball of pizza, that's what that would look like. Okay, keep mixing, and just like that, your orange is starting to show. Great job. Well, I am very curious to see what colors you have all made and for you to show me in your own photos, so be sure to send those along. Once you've mixed all of your colors together, you can play with your Play-Doh as much as you want. You can make different creations. You can challenge somebody in your house to maybe a game of Sculptionary, which is like Pictionary, where you have to sculpt something different. Every time you finish playing, make sure to put it back in the bag so it doesn't dry out, or into an airtight container. If you have a Tupperware at home or whatever else, that works too. And with that, your Play-Doh is ready to go. Great job. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I hope you had as much fun as I did making your own colorful Play-Doh, and more fun doing all of the other rainbow creation activities that you can follow along with for us this week. All of the activities and everything else we've already done this summer can be found on our website, pama.peelregion.ca. Be sure to share all of your finished creations with us at Visit Pama on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Now tune back in next week for our last week of Summer Staycation as we create our own marbled paper to write letters to and share our own stories and our ideas with the world. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.